Hi. So I just wanted to give a quick update to some of the family history stuff that we talked about at the retreat back in July. And I don't have a lot of new information to share, but I have some really exciting new information to share. And so I just wanted to take a couple of minutes here to let you know what I've found recently. So just as a quick review, where we left the story in July. So we were talking about Albert's father, Andrew, Andrew and Ellen Lundberg. We were talking about kind of the fact that we knew very little about Andrew and his family. We've been told quite a few stories about him, kind of passed down from Marvin and Earl's father and Albert, that he was a sea captain. He farmed, of course, he immigrated to Nebraska and farmed there. He immigrated around 1880, we think, born in 1850. And then there's the old story we've all heard that he was originally Anders Johansson. When he immigrated, he changed his name to Andrew Johnson. But there were so many Andrew Johnsons in Phelps County at the time that he was unable to get his mail reliably, so he changed the family name to Lundberg. Married his wife in 1885 and died in 1894, and he's buried in that Platte Valley Cemetery there in Phelps County, Nebraska, the one that Julianne and Jennifer visited a few years ago, and I think the Lundberg Foundation gave some money to support new fence and some grass mowing, and I mean, very simple things. So that's kind of what we've known about Andrew. But in July, I told you that I made contact with a woman whose great-grandfather, Peter, had a younger brother named Andrew, and she had a much more complete family history. And that family history was here. That family history was kind of this list of people with the family of Jens and Pernilla Anderson, and 8 children, including her great-grandfather Peter, including an Andrew Johnson with kind of the right named children, and 6 more kids: Joanna Lundberg, Lena, Pernilla, Marie, Jenny, and John. And so I talked about the digging around I've done on these names, and I found some of them, but not all of them. So Joanna, Marie, and Jenny all immigrated to Nebraska as well, and married and had families. Jenny Lundberg and George Hansen didn't have any kids. Joanna and Pete Bingston had 5 children, but no grandchildren. Marie Lundberg and her husband Louis Johnson, no relation, had 4 children, but no grandchildren. But I didn't know anything about, I couldn't find anything about Lena, about Pernilla, or about this John. So that's where, that's the kind of family tree that I drew for you on the wall there in July, and just, there are a lot of question marks left here that I was trying to fill in, that I've been trying to dig around on. So one thing, I don't know if I mentioned this in July. One additional data point. So I did a DNA test with 23andMe, and Darlene and I matched. So we know that Peter and Andrew were brothers.
Are you in this?
No, we're 3rd cousins, or 4th cousins. So we do know. So at least part of this is true. But yet don't know how much. Okay, so I got another match. Now, I may live to regret the day that I let a corporation have DNA sample. But until that day, it's been really helpful with this genealogical research because I got another match to a woman named Elsa Johansson who lived in Sweden, and this is the biography that she posted. And the thing that excited me the most was that she had most of her relatives were farmers or seamen that come from Skåne province in Sweden. And so I thought that was very promising. So I sent her an email, and didn't hear back from her. Didn't want to send her too many emails to scare her off. And I actually never heard back from her. Turns out Elsa's 93. But I heard back from her daughter Maria. And I can't express how helpful it is when you're doing research on your Swedish roots to have a native Swedish speaker who knows where to look, because Maria found this. So this is Swedish household examination book from the that should be 1866 to 1870, from the 1860s. Basically a census book, and this is it. This is our family. Wow. So it's Jens Anderson. So Darlene's grandmother almost had it right, but a few misspellings. But it's Jens Anderson and his wife Pernilla Larsdottir, and their 8 children: Peter, Anders, Johannes. Pernilla, Johannes, you can see, and you see the names. So the children that did immigrate to Nebraska, Peter, Anders, and then the 3 daughters, Joanna, Maria, and Jenny. So they did, and then I was able to find from here some of their immigration information. But the other children didn't. The other children did stay. The other children stayed in Sweden. So now I have them listed in order of age. So Pernilla married in Sweden, had 1 daughter, but no grandchildren. The son there, kind of 5th one down. The son Johannes didn't have any, never married and didn't have any children. But Lena married, and she did have, and she had children. And there's some families still living in Sweden, and maybe one of her children immigrated to Washington State. Still, a woman by the same name, born on the same day, immigrated to Washington State. I'm not sure if she was born in the same place. I'm still trying to chase that down, but I think there's a good chance that we may have some other relatives living in Washington State. But this is now now we have now we actually know the family in Sweden and know where they came from. And now actually having the right names, the right spellings, and the birth dates, and this household examination book, the census entry. The rest of the family tree starts to fill in. So I've got now parents and grandparents and great-grandparents for my great-grandfather Anders. So I'm still digging through all of this information, but it, kind of for the first time in this journey, I have more leads than time. Where for the longest time it's been time and no leads. But this has really filled out for us. And I'll leave you with one thing. So where Jens was born and where Andrew was born. So we now know in Skåne province. So that's on kind of the south tip of Sweden there. Awfully close to Denmark, but we I guess maybe it was Eldon who thought that that Anders was born in Malmö, but same province, but a bit north. And zooming in, it turns out that the town still exists. It's an adorable little farming community of 300. And so never too far from our roots. So that's what I found recently. That's what I'm really excited about. I've got some stuff online. If you're interested in helping dig through some of this stuff, shoot me an email. I'll send you some of my.
Kent, that's some marvelous stuff you're doing there. Thank you so much. I was just wondering if you could update that. Did my other uncle, Brian Aquist, did he have to change his mind because he was disagreeing with you? I think you said
He was. No, I'll say he was appropriately